Welcome to Worship Leader Hangout. Today I'm showing you guys how we have all of our live streaming stuff set up. Last year I did a video about our old system. We were using the Sling Studio and I sold all that gear and some other gear and got all new stuff to be able to have a much better, more professional live streaming system. We are using the ATEM Mini Extreme, we're using a Decklink, we're using ProPresenter 7, we're using Restream, we're doing all the stuffs, and I want to show you how we have it all set up today. So come on, let's go. One of the main things that churches use are a software to get the image, the backgrounds for the lyrics, the videos, and whatever else they want on their main screen. They have to have a software for that. Of course, we're using ProPresenter 7. What else would you use? Let's be honest. But I want to show you how we have it set up.
Are we ready to film the ad?
We are ready to film the ad. Okay. But wait a minute. You got to tell me first where these graphics come from. They're insane.
These insane graphics come from Church Motion Graphics, CMG for short. Church Motion Graphics designs things specifically to look amazing in churches. They make perfect templates for sermon notes, announcements, and worship lyrics, as well as tons of other things. The best part of CMG is that they are affordable. They have subscriptions that work for every budget. With their premium subscription, you will not only gain access to tons of worship backgrounds weekly, but also...
Oh, what in the world?
Wrong tab. With CMG, you will gain access to a backlog of thousands of motion backgrounds, sermon and announcement templates, social media graphics, and so much more. So go visit churchmotiongraphics.com and enter our coupon code WLH, all caps, to get your $15 off your premium subscription.
That's churchmotiongraphics.com.
Again, that is churchmotiongraphics.com for your $15 off your premium subscription.
Oh, no. The way we are getting this image, what you see on the screen right now, to our switcher is we're using a Blackmagic Decklink. Gone are the days of using the secondary display of a computer to send it to the projector. We're not doing that anymore. We're using the Blackmagic Decklink. We have been for a little while. We're running all four. It's the Blackmagic Decklink, I think, Duo, which is a 4-channel or 4-output card that sits in a nice little housing, and that goes to the computer via USB-C. And what's really cool is we can go to our screens and configure screens, and once that's all plugged in and set up properly, our main screen output can now be the Decklink Duo, and that's channel 3, and we have that going out 1080p 29.797 frames per second, so basically 30 frames per second. And then we also have a couple other things. We have the lower thirds coming out. That's very important, and that's being sent to the ATEM Mini Extreme, so our switcher as well. We have a lobby screen. I'm not really worried about that for this video. And then we have the stage screen, which is our stage display that's like up here above our heads. So again, the main thing is our main screen and our lower thirds, and those are being sent directly to our switcher. And how we do that is plug in the Blackmagic Decklink Duo, and it does its thing, and then it just shows up right here under output, and you just select that. Now, and so that is being sent over there, and now the lower third, you do have to do a little bit of setup for that. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of setup. What you would want to do, what we have done, is we go to the theme editor, and we went ahead and made, if you go to lyric styles, this is where we decided to put it. I have it labeled right here. You can kind of see it says CPC Live lower third. Yup. I don't know why I put that. But this is the one we use typically. It's just a simple font, white on a black background. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, which I'm sure it's most of you, you can actually use a green background and do what's called a chroma key. But we're doing a luma key. We're doing the very simplest keying process possible on the ATEM Mini Extreme, and that's doing a luma key, which you would want a black background with your lyrics. I don't know why it puts these bars behind there, but it doesn't look like that when it comes out. So I don't know why it's doing that right now. But it's just a simple text over your black background. And of course you can move this anywhere you want to on the screen, and then move it in the ATEM Mini later if you want to down at the bottom. But we go ahead and put it at the bottom on that lower third from ProPresenter. That's just how we decided to do it. Once you have your theme created, then you can go over here to edit looks, and you see our main screen has everything. We want everything to be able to be seen on the main screen, And then we have the lower thirds, and I went ahead and labeled this ATEM Channel 8, so that way we know exactly what channel that's going to on the ATEM. Our main screen is going to channel 7, because it is called ProPresenter 7, why not take it to channel 7, right? Just keep those things consistent. What I don't want to see on the lower thirds are messages, props, announcements. I do want to see slides if I decide to do that, but I don't want to see media, and I don't want to see the video input on that lower third. So I'll go ahead and unselect all of that, and then with this presentation tab, I can select that and then select my lyric style. So no matter what my lyric style is, no matter what theme I'm using for the main screen, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can have a background rolling, I can have, you know, some words with on top of the bars that look really nice and fancy, but no matter what I'm sending to the main screen, it's gonna look like lower thirds over on our ATEM Mini, so check that out. Now we're over here at the mission control, if you will, is our little mini mission control where we can see all of our camera feeds, we can see our audio. Before we go and dive into the switcher and how I have it set up, I want to talk about audio. We're using the M32 by Midas, and we're multi-track recording with the USB-C card on the back of that, and it's running over to the iMac, and we're using Logic Pro, like the newest version of Logic Pro, to multi-track record. The reason why we multi-track record, we want to be able to go into Logic and mix this and master it in the best way that we can to make it sound as best as possible for our live stream. So to send our audio to the ATEM, we are using an 1/8 inch cable, and that's coming out of the back of the computer via 1/8 inch, going into one of the ports, the 1/8 inch ports on the ATEM Mini Extreme. And the reason why I'm using an 1/8 inch and not like a 1/4 inch or an XLR is because that's simply what is allowed on the ATEM Mini Extreme. So why not just do that straight from the computer itself? I want all the audio from this computer to be sent to the ATEM as well. Then to be able to hear that audio, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. This is a recording that we had from this past Sunday. To be able to hear that audio, we want to have that mic 1 on. And we can go over here to our ATEM control software, click on audio, and we can see that audio jumping right now. And because we're using wireless video transmitters, more on that in just a second, we do have a little bit of latency, so not even half a second. But what I have to do is I have to go up here and add that latency from the audio, so that way we match it perfectly with our video. And so we determined we can go anywhere from between 5 and 8 frames of delay is what they call it on the ATEM software. We just rock it at 8, and it matches up perfectly. One more thing on the audio, if we want to monitor audio, I went ahead and set up some headphones right here that we can just, you know, grab up under the table, you know, throw those on. And what's cool about the ATEM Mini is it has a headphone jack, the ATEM Mini Extreme. Some of them don't have a headphone jack, which is kind of crazy. But if we do want to hear this audio, and this is also how we mix the audio as well, it comes through the ATEM and we can just press that mute button. Now let's get into the video stuff. As you can see on our multi-view, we have the 2 cameras ready to go, and they are plugged into channels 3 and channel 4. So we have a center view, and which also has a person. They have the ability to, you know, they can zoom in, get some tight shots. They can, you know, pan back and forth with the pastor as he's speaking, you know, from like a belt waist level up to the top of his head kind of shot. And then our camera B is a mobile camera, and they can just run around the room and get all kinds of really nice shots. And we switch those on channels 3 and channel 4. The reason why it's channel 3 and channel 4 and not channel 1 and channel 2 is because we are using video transmitters by Hollyland called the Hollyland Mars 400S Pro. Those transmitters will then send the video signal to the receivers, and we have the receivers plugged in via HDMI straight to here. If we had those plugged in to channels 1 and 2, everything turns green and pink. Let me show you. What in the world? Blackmagic and Hollyland, why can't we work together on this thing? So as you can see, if I go to channel 1 or channel 2 with the Hollyland 400S Pro, it's green and pink. But I found out, I went online, I was like, oh no, what's going on? And people are saying channels 3 through 8 look great. One day we might run them hardwired via SDI, convert that over into HDMI, and then we'll be good to go. We won't have any latency or anything like that, or have to set latency on our audio. It'll just be just nice. And then on channel 6, we don't have anything on 5, but on channel 6, we have a second display from our computer just in case we need it. And what we use that second display for is if we're, you know, just in the room and want to throw a video on the screen without using ProPresenter. So it's basically that second display, like the old school way of putting ProPresenter on the screen or anything on the screen. We went ahead and just sent that over to the ATEM Mini Extreme just to have that available. On channel 7 we have ProPresenter, so anything coming from ProPresenter we see on channel 7, and then channel 8 are our lower third lyrics like I showed you that we're sending. What's really cool about the ATEM Mini Extreme is like you have this little mini mixer, if you will, within the full mixer, because when I press these big buttons, you know, whether it's channel 3, 4, 6, 7, or 8, this view, the program view on our multi-view, is what's going out live. Now, what's really cool is I can use the HDMI output, HDMI 1 output on the Mini Extreme to send to our main audience display and use this little mixer guy right here and put whatever I want to on the audience display. So the main screen that the audience uses for their lyrics and whatever, and videos, things like that during the sermon. This is our main display. This is our stage right here above the computer. And what's really cool is I can put any feed that I want to on that display because I'm running from the HDMI 1 output, and this video out is like I said, a little mini mixer within the whole mixer of itself. So I'm trying to find the right words to say about this, but like, look, I can put the multi-view up on the main screen. I could put the program view. Program view is live. That's why I put in parentheses live. And then, you know, I could do a clean feed. I could do ProPresenter. I could do the lower thirds. I could do the desktop view, you know, if I wanted to put something from the desktop there. It's just really cool to have this. And I don't know how many people are running it like this, but it's really cool to be able to have a camera show up on your main screen, and this is how we do that. Even if we were to run multiple projectors, we could still run out of this HDMI port into a device that then splits it for those multiple projectors. But we're only running one projector right now. I really like that capability. That's why I run the audience display from the ATEM Mini Extreme instead of directly from the computer, from the Decklink, because of all the capability I have within this switcher. Okay, and then those lower third lyrics, so we talked about that earlier, coming from ProPresenter, which is channel 8 on our switcher. Now, on your switcher software, the way that you set this up is this is coming in with just a black background with white text. So it would be a Luma key that we'd want to do. There's other ways to key things out and make everything look pretty, use colors and all that stuff, but we just wanted to go simple, black text or white text on a black background. So we're going to use a Luma key on our upstream key 1, and our fill source is going to be lyrics 8. So that's the channel, and then our key source is going to be lyrics 8, and it does its magic and it keys out. And I'll show you, because if I go to camera 4 or camera B, and then I want to add the lyrics on top of that for our live stream, I can add the lyrics on top and it looks really good. And anybody watching the live stream can keep up with the lyrics as we are singing those. I'm going to leave it on that. And the way I did the lyrics with just the touch of one button is I set up a macro on the ATEM Mini Extreme. So the macro is a way to record a particular setting on the ATEM Mini. So I recorded the fact that, okay, so when I press macro 1, I want my lyrics to show up and already be keyed out. When I press macro 2, I set it to where it just turns that upstream key off. Lastly, with our multi-view display, I just want to kind of show you what we got on the display. We have program, that's our live view, that's what people are seeing live. This is our output, so our output 1 is the main screen. We have camera A, camera B, our desktop from that computer if we need it. We have ProPresenter 7 over here, and we have our hard drive for recording. We have our stream status right here. And then we have our lower thirds and our media player 1. Media player 1 is just a picture or whatever you want to put up on the screen randomly. I just put our logo there. All right, let's move to recording. So to record your output, it's really to record your program, what's live. The best way to do that with that I've found, I'm sure there's other ways you could do it that look better, but the best and easiest way to do it is to connect a hard drive into one of your USB-C ports and use the record function on the actual ATEM Mini that it comes with. And it shows you how many hours, so we have 355 hours and 48 minutes. And it also shows you how many gig is left on your drive. So it's a terabyte drive, we have 981 gig left, and we have 355 hours left. And to make it look really cool, what I can do is fade to black right now. I can go to ProPresenter 7, or I can actually go to camera 4, and then start recording. And then that'll come up red once you are recording. Now we're recording, you see REC at the top there on your multi-view, and I can unfade, and boom, we're right in there with that first view, or if you wanted to, throw your ad reel on the screen. And then to go live, so the next view, right now our live stream is off, and it's so simple. So I'm gonna go over here to the ATEM software control, and I have the output right here. So I take the stream key from Restream, I copy that, and then take it over here to the output, and I put that in, and I select our platform, and it automatically selects server, and I want high quality. So I'm gonna go back to palettes, because we might need to make some changes on that. And then when I'm ready to go live, this is what's great about this, is it's so easy. I wanna make sure on Restream I have whatever destinations selected. I have them unselected right now, so that way we don't actually go to that. But I'm gonna go ahead and press on air, and immediately the ATEM Mini Extreme is online. It goes on air. You're live right now. So whatever your first view on your program view is what they see first. So now we see on Restream, we are live running that ad reel in however many minutes before service, and we're good to go. We're recording and we're live at the same time. And to turn those off, to stop, all you got to do now, what I would do is if I'm pretending, so we have camera 4, so say that's the last thing we're seeing online, I could fade to black on that, camera 4, fade to black, and then go off air, press the off button. And if I'm ready to stop recording, I can go ahead and hit stop recording, and it stops it for me, and it saves it on the drive, which is really cool. It saves it on that hard drive, and I can take that hard drive to any computer and edit that. And all the switches and the audio and everything's already built into that recording, and I don't have to edit it later. So that's the ATEM Mini Extreme. That's everything that we have plugged into it and how we use it, and pretty much how we have everything set up. It's actually pretty easy to use, especially for your volunteers, when they know where everything is for the most part and what they have to do. They don't really need to know all the ins and outs, but I like to explain that, and I like to talk about it because it's good for them to know if there's a problem, they know how to fix it. We have a brand new room that I want to show you. Our green room entrance is right here. In our media room, our gear locker was right here at this door. And I thought, well, you know what? We could lock these doors and not use these, because like this is not good to be going in and out of these doors, especially during service. I mean, our auditorium, look, auditorium's right here. So let me show you this. Now we're still working on it. We got the first coat of black paint done. This is our gear locker. This will be. We're gonna put shelves on this side for all of our camera gear and the things that we need for production in general. And then on this side of the room, we're gonna put shelving and ways to store all of our music gear. This is our former, or will be our former gear locker. Come on in. And you can kind of see it's become a little bit of a mess because we know what's about to happen. But it's not enough space to store music and production gear. So that's what that's gonna be. Now this room, I'm excited. Along this wall, there's gonna be a nice table. On the walls, we're gonna put a couple TVs, or probably some kind of larger monitor for our program view and our multi-view. It's like what you saw out there, we're gonna have right here on this wall. I wanna have our online audio tech right here, hopefully running a board similar to what we're running out there, so that way they can mix on a board instead of on Logic. We'll still record to Logic, but I don't want to mix it on Logic forever. That's just not fun. So I'm excited about this room and the changes that's happening. Check this out, hold on. I found this sign, and so we got to put this up in this room. Probably right here. What do you think? What's cool is this already connected. There was already a door right here to this office. And I was like, you want to just keep the door open now. This office turned into our gear locker, or will turn into our gear locker, and we knocked a hole in the wall. I had some help. So we just put a big old opening so that way we can go right into our pretty much brand new, newly updated green room. Check it out. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I know that's a lot of information, a lot of little details. If there's anything I forgot or whatever, I'll try to put in. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. And there's a ton of tutorial videos on everything I talked about today. That's how I'm learning about it, is literally YouTube and some friends that have already used some of this stuff. And I'm just showing you, like, it's really an update to how we live stream here at our church. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember, great worship leaders are always learning. We'll see you next time.